Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Oh, I need a coffee. Man, this is early for me. Not too bad, though. Noot, noot. Hello. You alright? Nice. Good morning, my house sunshine. What's up, AP? How you guys doing? Good morning from Blender Hell again. You can see the engines are still in the air in that picture. Chris, people are going to think I'm still huffing copium, dude. I think that fire's in front of the plane. That's what the satellite picture said. And we know that that picture's from a couple days ago because everything's on fire and it wasn't in the satellite photo. So unless everything lit on fire again, I think we're okay. But no one's gonna believe that. So people think I'll be huffing my copium over here, so it's alright. Don't forget the whiskey. Oh no! The USA can't purchase Russian engines anymore. Oh no! Anyway. Hey guys, wanna see something funny? Here. Wanna see something funny? Turn your camera on and we will. There was an attempt. That's not funny. That's nice. No, look, a broomstick engine. Dude, he really talking about huffing the copium, man. I thought I was bad. What the hell's that guy's problem? I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, what the hell's that guy's problem? Wait, what engine was that? An AR-1? It's a Russian RD-180, but made in the U.S. We have the plans to it, and we can make that. So the Russians, yeah, it's the AR-1. It's an American-made RD-180, which is hilarious to me. The Russians, Dmitry Rogozin today announced that we can't buy Russian engines anymore. CPY's video. Seen this? Let me see.
Discovery,
yeah.
go and throttle up.
Yeah, the engine's in front of the dude. Boy, people are gonna hate me. People think I'm huffing more copium than Dimitri. Fellas, all right, look at this. Let's look at this video. Let's take a look. Okay. Guys, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that doesn't seem good. But the wing box seems okay. You can see the top of the wing box right there. I think that fires in front of the plane, dude, to be honest. Either that or the front fell off. Either that or the front fell off. Yeah. If the front fell off, then yeah, you got a problem. But it's still on its gear, man. Like, the plane's still sitting on its landing gear. So that could be the nose cone for all we know. If it's the nose cone, whatever. That's fixable. Easy peasy. I told you, visible damage to the hangar from the fire, guys. The fire is... Fire's a problem. You can see the tail right there. See that little thing right there? There's the tail. There's the wing box. It looks like what we were saying yesterday wasn't that far off, dudes. Front of the plane's a little scorched up, but I think we're okay. Seriously, I think that's fixable. I would call that fixable. So...
Discovery, go and throttle up.
I mean, it was clear enough for the tail to not fall. And just like I was saying, you know, with the tail not falling, that means the plane's on its landing gear, which means it can't be that damaged. Launches in 3 minutes. Launches in 3 minutes. Yeah, no. Nice try, though. It's about 15. Unless they moved it up. Did they move it up? No way. Okay, you weren't lying. T-minus 3 minutes. All right, well, I'm going to pop us into launch coverage then. Shoot.
The first
Why didn't anybody tell me?
Are almost completely loaded with propellants. Fuel loading is complete. Coming up in about 10 seconds, we'll hear a call out for liquid oxygen loading complete on the first stage, followed about a minute after.
This is going to fast forward us up. Let's get into it. Yeah, it was supposed to be at 9:35. Starship tanks. We'll have to check those out later. Sorry, Gene. That was my fault. My fault, buddy. Okay, we're caught up, dudes. Falcon 9, Starlink-38 launch.
T-minus 2 minutes to launch.
It's out of 39A. This is the 11th flight for this booster. Fairings are reused. Yeah, let's freaking do it, dude. Freaking Starlink launch a week, baby. Let's go.
We'll also see venting from the transporter erector.
Oh, okay, hypersonic. That makes more sense.
Indicating that
let's go. Yeah, I'm in.
For today's
I don't hate this. This is fine with me.
Now there's that venting from the transporter erector. As I mentioned earlier, it provides the fluids and gases to the vehicle. So as we're preparing for launch, we clear out those gases.
They said they want to have deployment coverage. Yeah, all right. There's the TE purge. They're getting the propellants out of the TE. And the easiest way to do that is to just vent the locks.
To internal control by its autonomous flight.
So basically, there's fuel lines that go up the side of this thing that go into the second stage up there. When the second stage is full, they shoot a blast of nitrogen up these pipes, and all the gaseous oxygen comes out. The kerosene they just drain out. They don't shoot that off the side. That would be silly. AC, what's up, buddy?
Discovery, go and throttle up.
I love the smell of launches in the morning. Yeah, it's just a typo, Petty. Yep. Phil, hey, 1413 sub. 30 seconds.
T-minus 30 seconds.
LD, go for launch.
Launch director is go.
So just under 30 seconds to go. Launch director giving their final go for launch.
Yeah, it looks pretty damn clear. It looks like a really nice day to launch. Thanks for the bits, everybody.
47 Starlinks.
All right, I'm turning it up.
15 seconds.
Headphone users, just in case. Headphone users, just in case.
10, 9, 8.
Sound suppressors primed.
6, 5, 4.
Stand by for ignition.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff.
Looks good. You got a good lift. Textbook.
Chamber picture.
Go, baby, go. Everything looked real good there. Okay.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
30 seconds in, everything looks real good. This is 10:58, I think it was, Max. This is its 11th flight, dude.
T plus 40 seconds into
Roll
flight,
program
Falcon
complete.
9 lifting off from Space Launch Complex 39A at the Kennedy Space Center.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Carrying 47 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Now,
Yeah,
we
this
just
is the
throttled
third
down
one to go to
the
11.
Merlin 1D engines in preparation for max Q. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
That's the point when the combination of the velocity of the vehicle and the density of the
They
Earth's
really are
atmosphere
steady. It's
put the
pretty cool.
highest stresses on the vehicle.
Oh, why'd you cut that shot? Oh, come on.
Max Q.
So with that, we are
That
through the
was
point
cool.
of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Stresses
For
on
this
the
one,
vehicle
right?
will
Yeah.
continue to decrease as we continue up to orbit. We've got three
Oh,
events happening
nice
in quick
shot.
succession. First
Oh,
of those
that's
will be
pretty.
main engine cutoff, or MECO, followed by stage separation, and then second engine start number 1, or SES1.
I love it, dude. I could watch
Main
this
engine
every day.
cutoff
I pretty much
is
do,
where
but
all 9 of the
look at how
Merlin
pretty
1D
that is.
engines will shut down to slow down the vehicle in preparation for stage separation. That's where the first
yeah, I
and
have
second
it.
stages
I don't need
will
to.
separate using those pneumatic mechanisms in the interstage. Right after stage separation, the
Okay.
first stage will be making its way back to Earth for landing. And we will
There's
be
a call for
attempting
engine chill
to
down right
recover the
there.
first stage today on a drone ship stationed out in the Atlantic named Just Read the Instructions.
Vehicle is following a nominal trajectory.
Now, while that's happening, stage 2 will continue on its journey with the third
is pretty
event,
cool,
that's second
hypersonic,
engine
yeah.
start number 1, or
Very, very
SEN1,
pretty.
SES1. It'll start its Merlin vacuum engine and take those Starlink satellites to orbit. It's coming up, just a few seconds. MECO, main engine cutoff, followed by stage
Cull
sep,
off.
and then SES1.
See a good puff of smoke right here. Ready?
Nico. Stage separation confirmed.
Okay.
Now we'll see pretty shortly here fairing deployment as well.
And second engine stage startup.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Fairing separation confirmed.
So there on the right-hand side of your
Everything
screen,
looks
those
good, man.
Starlink satellites seeing space for the first time.
Looks like she's launching south
There's
out
a
of
shot
the
of the
cave.
Merlin vacuum. You can actually see the
Southeast,
fairing
excuse me.
halves heading back to
Peace,
planet
love, and
Earth.
rockets.
And on the
That's right,
left-hand
Captain.
side of your screen, you can see the first stage deploying its
907.
grid fins.
It's awesome.
Vehicles continue to follow a nominal trajectory.
Should
Just a
recover the
quick note
stiffener
on the
engine.
fairing halves today. One of those is flying for its 3rd time. The other is flying for its 4th. And we will be attempting to recover both halves today using our recovery
I
vessel
know,
named
yeah.
Bob.
Golly, pretty crazy.
Now, stage 2 is continuing to its target orbit.
They burn
the
radio
first
out.
stage,
Hypersonic, yeah.
which you can see on
Squeeze
your
a little bit
left-hand
more
side,
oomph
has
out
a
of that
couple of
first
burns
stage.
to make before it can make its way back to planet Earth. First of those is the entry burn. It'll ignite 3 of its Merlin 1D engines to slow down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere. And then the second burn happens much closer to touchdown on that first stage. It'll ignite just its single center Merlin engine for the landing burn. And that's what brings the vehicle speed rapidly down to 0 so we can have a soft touchdown on the drone ship. Right-hand side of your screen, you can see the Merlin vacuum engine on the second
Boris.
stage with some beautiful shots
Acquisition of signal.
Thanks for the
of
pizza,
Earth
everybody.
behind us,
It's like I've seen it before.
glowing that orange color.
Are you saying
The
that
second stage
it's
engine
like
will
deja
continue to
vu?
burn until about T plus 8 minutes, so it's got a few minutes to go here. If you're just joining us, we had successful liftoff of the Falcon 9 at 9:25
I'm gonna go
a.m.
over there.
Eastern Time
There we go.
from the
See
Kennedy
telemetry
Space
better
Center,
this way.
Space Launch Complex 39A. On the left-hand side of your screen is a live view of the first stage with its grid fins extended, preparing for its next major event, which is the entry burn.
Falcon 9.
It's making
grid
its way
fins wide.
to a drone ship stationed in the Atlantic named Just Read the Instructions, targeting its 11th landing. On the right-hand side of your screen is the second stage, carrying 47 Starlink satellites into an intended drop-off orbit. Now, those Merlin engines on the stages, on the first stage, are actually optimized for sea level.
Yeah, right.
They achieve about 190,000 pounds of thrust during ascent, so during this portion of the mission, and now for descent, a similar amount of thrust. The Merlin vacuum engine is optimized for 220,500 pounds of thrust, and that's because the nozzle is significantly larger, allowing us to get more force out of the gases from combustion. You can see a couple of the grid fins on the Falcon 9's first stage on the left-hand side of your screen. Those hypersonic grid fins are near the top of the first stage.
To orbit.
And as we get back in...
Orbit's all about speed, dude. This number needs to be double. More than double, actually about double now. Yeah. That's how fast you need to go to be able to stay in orbit. You don't go faster than that number, you don't stay in space for very long.
Orienting the vehicle as we get prepared for the entry burn start.
The two cameras are just on either side of the engine looking backwards.
About 20 or so
So like
seconds
if the second stage is flying like this, you have two
during
cameras
entry
just
burn, we'll
looking back
ignite
at the
3 of the
turbine
Merlin
machinery and the
1D
motor.
engines on the first
That's all.
stage to slow down the vehicle as we start to hit the denser parts of the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, they're just on two sides. They're opposed to each other like that. All right, supersonic retro propulsion. Here it comes.
Stage 1, entry burn, start up.
Stage 1 FTS is safe.
Okay.
Confirmation of
First
entry
stage
burn
is coming back
startup.
down.
This burn lasting just about 20 seconds. You can see rapidly reducing the velocity of the first stage.
Stage 1, entry burn, shutdown.
So confirmation.
Wow, the
of
RCS
shutdown
is
of the
really
entry burn. From
doing some
here,
work there. You
the
see it
grid
steer
fins
it?
are going to play a more and more important role as we enter into the thicker parts of the Earth's atmosphere.
All right,
And as
here
we
she comes.
flew through the exhaust plume from that entry burn, we actually deposited
Look
a
at
layer
that.
of soot on the rocket.
Look at that shot on the first
You've
stage.
followed our
and
missions
it's
before.
gone.
You know that soot on the
And
first
it's
stage
gone.
indicates that we've flown it
Never
before.
mind.
It
Don't
actually
look at the
comes
shot.
from the rocket propellant
Said we
1
jinxed it.
kerosene combustion from Falcon 9's propellants. Rocket propellant 1 is
I know,
a
Petza.
carbon-based
Makes me happy.
propellant. So as we burn it, it generates
Stage
a little bit
1,
of soot,
transonic.
which is
Okay,
deposited
stage 1
onto
is
the
in the
vehicle.
transonic flight regime, meaning it's slowing down.
Now, coming up about 20 seconds from now, we'll have landing burn on the first stage.
Oh, Mr. Marsh, you're just transferring funds from into a mutual fund from the offshore and it's
may
gone.
not have video confirmation of that part of the mission,
All
so
right,
I'll try to
almost
give
there.
call-outs if I can hear them on the nets. And
Stage 1, landing
simultaneously,
burn.
Okay, we got a good call for the landing burn there. Hey, discount
simultaneously,
engineer, what's up, dude?
during the
Thanks for the
landing
raid.
burn, the landing legs will deploy on the first stage for hopefully a soft touchdown, and then the second stage, which we have on our screen, should also complete
Stand by for the call
its
for the
first
landing
burn.
legs.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
Bingo. All right.
So 4 landing legs deployed on the first stage, confirmed by the ground control team.
And rocket stage.
Stage 1, landing confirmed.
Yeah, all
And
right.
confirmation, 11th successful landing of that first stage.
Give me the cash. Yeah, come on now,
26th
give me the
overall
cash.
landing
Ha
on just read the instructions.
Oh,
And
man,
see a
that's
shot there.
cool.
We also had a call out,
Nominal orbit insertion.
2 call outs there on
Actually,
the second
that-
stage.
dude, that looks like that
of
one
second
came in
engine
fast.
cutoff And a nominal orbit, which
looks
means
like we
those
may have
Starlink
hit a
satellites
crush core
are
there or
right where they
something.
want to be for the upcoming payload deployment. Now, those 47
Could just be the
Starlink
camera
satellites
angle.
are scheduled to be deployed about an hour from now. However, we won't have
Sweet.
live audio or visual coverage of the payload deployment due to a lack
Yeah,
of
that-
ground station
that was a little
coverage
bit of a
at
bumpy
scheduled
landing.
time. We will regain signal with our ground station at about T+1 hour and 19 minutes. So for those of you interested, we'll keep the audio-only countdown nets up on our YouTube channel, and we'll confirm successful payload deployment on our social media channels. So with that,
Thanks,
and this
Sheila.
awesome shot of the first stage, we're going to bring today's webcast coverage to a close. Our team at SpaceX would like to thank the Range and the Federal Aviation Administration
see?
for supporting today's mission. We also want to take some time to thank our viewers and all of our Starlink customers for using our service at this time.
You're welcome, Chevy.
For more information on Starlink, or if you're interested in signing up.
Okay, here, check this out. So there's a little thing going on right there. What they're doing is they're shutting down, or not shutting down, they're purging out the engines. You have to get all the liquid oxygen out of these motors after you shoot them off, because oxygen, especially in liquid form, oxidizes things. Seriously, it makes stuff rust. I know. Shocking revelation. So what they're doing is they're hitting it's either nitrogen or helium. I don't know which one it is. They hit the turbine machinery of the engines and the vent line with this stuff to get all the gaseous and liquid oxygen out of there. And the vent lines are on the side. See that? Note that we can only see one on right now because it was a 3-engine landing burn. So there was one here, one in the center that we can't see, and then one on the other side because it's 3 engines, right? So they, not all of them are venting right now because not all of them need to be purged, because some of them were already purged when the rocket hit main engine cutoff. With this level of accuracy, catching Starship seems less crazy. I mean, that one is a little bit off, but once again, yeah, I think it's doable. What do they do with the tank? Ullage propellant, Scully. They vent the gaseous oxygen out of the tank, and the remaining liquid oxygen boils off. The RP-1 can just sit in there. That's fine. It's not gonna damage anything. If anything, it keeps things nice and protected. Yeah, you have to. That's the thing about rockets. Even the propellants are corrosive to them. But anyway, great launch. Everything looks real good. Pretty textbook to me. I didn't see anything weird. Did you? Might as well have been a replay. Dude, from what we were messing with KSP yesterday, or not yesterday. When we were trying to catch boosters in KSP. From what I was looking at, dudes, as long as you have a little bit of horizontal velocity here, so i.e. you're not trying to come straight down. If you try to kind of have the booster go sideways with some side momentum, you could, like sideways, we'll say radial momentum, I guess. Yeah, it's very precise. You could be very accurate with that thing, but who knows? Wait, that was a rerun? No, that was a real launch. I said it might as well have been a replay. All right. Yeah, everything looked real good.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
One KSC southbound RTLS. They did that the other day, S. Have you heard the OneWeb news from this morning? Yeah. Yeah, the Russians. Found a video you might like. What's this, Matt? Ah, yes. Yeah. Any video about a B1, dude, I'm in. I know it was great. When are they doing it again? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the next trajectory is. I mean, we got another... There's another Starlink, guys, in 5 days. Or at least there should be. Where did it go? It ain't there no more. Here, let's check next space flight. Yep. Yep, there we go. Falcon 9, Block 5, Starlink Group 410. Net March 8th from Slick 40. Nice. Hey, G, just want to say you look really good today. Oh, you look good every day, thank you. I'm tired, man. I'm very tired. Yeah, guys, like, no lie. I usually go to bed around 2, 3 in the morning, so these morning launches really screw me up. Like, they really screw me up. My whole schedule's all messed up today. I had to condense, like, 30 minutes of, you know, like a wake-up routine, right? I had to condense, like, 30 to 45 minutes of just getting up and checking in on Brimo. I try to make sure I talk to Brimo every day because, you know, fiance and stuff. That's kind of important. And then, like, check my email, make coffee, take a shower, you know, vitamins every day. I had to condense that whole thing into about 5 minutes. Have they seriously considered star production for the AR-1? Are they tested and ready to use? I think that picture of the AR-1, dude, this one, that's... Aerojet Rocketdyne did it because they said, like, this was for the Terran R or something, or Firefly Alpha, I think. I forget who they're making the AR-1 for. Yeah, basically they could. That's just an American-made RD-180, dude. So, I mean, part of the deal, not part of the deal. When we bought Russian rocket engines, we used parts like they gave us the blueprints to it. They gave us the blueprints to the dang thing, which is hilarious to me because they're like, no, you can't use our rocket engines anymore. It's just like, all right. Yeah, Cake, it's done. It happened already. They moved the time up on us real quick. Apparently no German experiments anymore on the Russian segment of the ISS. Dude, this whole thing's going to hell in a handbasket. It's just... I really hope that cooler heads would prevail. But, not in the cards. It is what it is, dude. I don't think that ISS operations are going to be messed up at all, per se, but not too much, at least. I'm just baffled at how you seem so angry about the response. Like, what did they expect to happen? That's a long story. Jake, guys, I don't want to weigh in because I don't know. That's the right thing to say. I don't want to weigh in because I don't know, but from what I've been able to surmise here, there's something more complicated going on than, you know, just, oh, we're invading a country, haha. It's a lot more complicated of an issue that I'm just frankly not too familiar with. So, what did they think was going to happen? Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot to unpack here. So, I don't know. Unless you guys want to do another Rule 8 stream, I don't really want to talk about it. And I don't think anybody here wants to do another Rule 8 stream, dude. You know? I'm seeing that Starliner is canned. Where are you seeing that? What? No. Why would it be canned? I'm confused. Can you give me a source on that, Cuban? Not trying to call you out. Just give me a source. I don't think Starliner's going anywhere. But then again, news comes at you fast in this day and age, I guess. YouTube, not real life. How about it being in a European country instead of an uncivilized world? Oh, black, like... It's ridiculous. Yeah, as long as it's not on my doorstep, you know, I'm not going to get outraged. But when war happens near me, oh, what a travesty. I know, it's really funny. Are you shooting on me? Really? That's the head? Wow. Okay. To get rid of Russia, NASA gives up on Boeing Starliner and awards 3 new contracts for SpaceX. Wow, that is horribly misleading. Wow. Yeah, Cornbread, Tech Fans or whatever that YouTube channel is straight up lying. Like straight up. That's straight up not even true. Yeah. In fact, NASA said the opposite of that, which is hilarious to me. No, the reality of the situation there is that NASA awarded 3 more Crew Dragon missions to the space station to make up for the fact that Starliner isn't ready yet. And to imply that they did that to get rid of Russia is stupid. They were doing that anyway. Pretty sure NASA doesn't change their plans in a week. Yeah, does that sound like NASA to you? No. Yeah, that like I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm not trying to be a dick. That title is extremely wrong, and it's definitely, you got clickbaited, dude. Sorry.
Go and throttle up.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah. The video was better than the title. Yeah, Blacklist. I'll be honest. I don't give a frick about the video. The title is misleading, so I have no. The title is horribly misleading, and this isn't even like, oh well, we fact checked it and we investigated ourselves and found no problem. The title's clickbait. The title's clickbait, and even if it has good information in it, dude, screw that. Why would what? Like, I hate stuff like this. This is the kind of garbage that I try to avoid at all costs. Like, it's great. I don't care, you dude. That's a terrible. That title is a lie. I'm going to go smash my head into a brick wall repeatedly. All right, Elements. See you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not giving that the time of the day. Cornbread, don't worry about it. Starliner ain't going anywhere. Starliner ain't going anywhere, dude. That's not how the space program works, man. I'm going to go have my morning excrement, okay? All right. I need to poop. I'll see you later. I think this is a good point to go rage at Blender again. Why rage at Blender when you could rage at Maya? Don't say because I don't have money. Shut up. Shh. Shh. No tears now. Only dreams. You can't even dislike it anymore. I'm just waiting for people to start figuring out that you can like ratio videos in the comments. Max, no tears. Only dreams. Oh, look at what I have. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. That's nice. No one? Okay. Shh. 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 Shut up. Imported it into Beam? Nah. It still don't run. It's a 3D model, goalie. It's a 3D model. All my trucks run. It's more than I can say about yours. AC though? Yeah. Return to YouTube dislike? Yeah, I don't know, man. The YouTube dislike thing never really made a lot of sense to me. The reason why it never made a lot of sense is because content creators can still see how much their video is being disliked. So they did it citing the fact that, you know, they did the whole dislike. They got away with they did away with the dislike button to basically not hurt people's feelings. But content creators can still see the dislike button, which is strange. So that means it's about optics. That's what that tells me, that it's about optics. So a corporation with a commercial on YouTube doesn't want to get mass downvotes or something stupid like that. Or, dude, like I saw other things where I saw other things with like the White House YouTube channel where people would brigade the channel and just downvote every single video. That might have something to do with it. I don't think it's that. I think corporate optics would probably be more rash, like, kind of conclusion there. Or less rash conclusion, sorry. So yeah. Hey Chaos, what's going on? How's your evening going, my friend? Plums, how you doing? They got rid of it for Rule 8 reasons. Arbalest, I was reading about that. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I think it's much more about, I mean, I was about to say it's about corporate optics, but yeah. Corporate optics are not nearly as good as you're giving them credit for. What do you mean, SKS? Why, like, yeah, no, I understand. I think I understand what you're saying. But why get rid of it then? You know? I got Bathurst 12 weekend pass and campground spot in the paddock. Oh, you dick. I am super jealous. That's awesome, man. Yeah, but a channel could have them turned off. I think that would have been a much better solution, Cornbread, but I don't know. And Cuban, like, the other thing is, dude, we could sit here and we could be like, oh, this channel's wrong. This channel's not presenting factual information. I don't like pointing the finger at anybody. I don't like blaming people. That's really annoying. I really don't like it. So, you know, if you want to keep, like, that YouTube channel, you can keep watching TechSpace or something. Just do it. I don't care. I don't care, dude. I'm not even going to try to fight that battle of trying to gatekeep space news. That's so stupid. But then again, like, all I'm going to do is just point it out when the information is wrong. And I ain't going to make any friends that way. Let me put it to you like that. I mean, Google isn't sitting here and doing it for like any other reason other than their own short-sighted thing. They care about the downside for viewers because the viewer has no alternative. Yeah. So their optics department, their how do we keep making money department is actually great because YouTube and Google are monopolies effectively. They don't need to really be competitive. I mean, SKS, if we're going to make an argument that YouTube violates antitrust laws for online media, I think that argument could be made. But I think I stream on Twitch, man. But I also do have a YouTube channel, so. Very rare that you'll hear a shameless plug from me. The YouTube channel, guys, the VOD channel that Drummer's been working on, that automatically uploads VODs and sometimes even condensed VODs. It does it automatically, dude. We Drummer and I have been, well, it's mostly Drummer, I'll be honest with you. I just told him to do it. Drummer's been figuring out a way to cut up the VODs and upload them in pieces automatically. We're circumventing the editor. Screw the editor. We don't need an editor. So the YouTube channel's over, the VOD YouTube channel's up over 800 subs. If that gets to 1,000, I can monetize the channel. Just putting it out there. If you want to go sub to my VOD channel, please do. That'd be really nice. I want a mortgage, house, please get house. House is for your benefit too. No, you can't stay here. If I get garage, I could give you more content. I'm probably gonna do it anyway, but additional money would be useful for maybe like a lift or something. House party people. Is the house in Florida? I don't know, Tessa. I'm still looking. I'll give you guys a quick update with that, even though I probably shouldn't. Dude, I've been having to jump through hoops for banks and mortgage brokers and stuff because of my income. So my taxes are under a 1099. I get a 1099 from Amazon and Twitch. And it's a 1099 miscellaneous and a 1099K. So like I have to file my income under royalties like a record company. Yeah, the way Twitch files out is media. It's media, so I get royalties. That's how the subs are filed with taxes in the United States. Not that that's a bad thing or a good thing. I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just trying to prove to a local bank that has no idea what Twitch is very difficult. So what do you do again? What do you do again? I stream on Twitch. What's streaming? Okay. No, it hasn't been that bad. It hasn't been that bad. They're like, oh, that's really neat. That's really interesting. I want to know more. How much money do you make off this? I mean, don't get me wrong. And any other time I wouldn't answer that question. But it's the bank, and they're trying to figure out how much money they can lend me if I want to buy a house. So I have to tell them. Yeah. You mean like kayaking? Yeah, no. Trust me. I'm talking. We're talking to a bunch of different banks and a bunch of different mortgage brokers. Well, one mortgage broker and a couple banks. So, yeah, I've had to explain what I had to do to people that have no idea what Twitch is, like, multiple times. And they always, like, my schedule does not work with them. Let me put it to you like that. You get any that know yet? No. Chaos, I have to submit my full tax returns and stuff. Like Brimo, because she's a salaried position, she only needs to put in like a pay stub. Dude, I have to show them paychecks. I have to show them SOCH numbers, a social security number. Like I have to show them the card. I have to show them all my tax returns from like the last couple of years. I have to show them pay stubs. I have to show them my bank accounts. Like because I'm a royalty, because it's royalties, I have to do so much more work. So yeah, it's just get a better job then. Well, serious, you can help change that. You can help make my job better. You can give me a promotion. You have the power to do that. I'm just saying. That sounds like a pain. It's hard to balance with the stream, Chaos. But yeah, make sure you ain't a scammer. Yes, bank, I'm calling about your car's warranty. No. All right. You're royal like a king or something? Oh, Willie, don't even get me started, man. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to an incorporation lawyer. Set up something like EJSA Incorporated. And then your business handles everything. I'm not kidding. I have negotiated this minefield before. For a mortgage, though? SKS, I don't... I'm not against incorporating. I'm really not. Because right now it's just independent contracting. But, yeah. What I've been doing, guys, is... And this is why, I'll be honest, fellas. The content's been a little bit weak on the stream lately. Like, just playing Tarkov and Hearts and... maybe some Kerbal and maybe some cities and stuff. I know that the content's been a little bit on the weak side lately. That's because I'm really, really reading in a lot to how, not how taxes work. I already knew how that worked. Like how mortgages go and housing markets and stuff like that. I've been reading a lot about that lately, and also a lot about what's going on in the Ukraine too. But that's only for the spaceflight stuff. So, if we start a company, can we buy shares? You want shareholders controlling this stream? I don't think that's a good idea. Honestly, shocked you don't have an LLC. Yeah, Perky, I've just been an independent contractor. Filed it under royalties because incorporation is expensive. Find a lead on a house? No, Plums, I'm still just perusing the market. But yeah, Perky, I haven't incorporated. I never really saw the need to. I mean, now probably would be a bad thing to do. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice, Corn. Sole proprietorship. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, y'all. I'm learning all the terms and everything, dude. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing that's confusing. Believe it or not, accounting and economics and stuff is pretty straightforward stuff. It's actually pretty damn refreshing. I like it. I actually enjoy it. I don't mind it. I freaking have to jump through hoops every year because of taxes, and I've been get more and more involved with it every time you do it. Yeah, it's really, it's just math. Yeah, market economics, like this is the basics of like supply and demand and stuff like that, and yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's nice. It's like when we're balancing the budget in cities, dude. And you know what, man? I'm such a loser. Like, you know what? I like seeing the scope of like how I spend my money, how I spend money for the stream, what I spend money on and stuff. I actually enjoy like figuring that fog of war all out and seeing where my money goes and stuff. I think that's really neat. Personally, I think that's cool. Like, yeah. It's cool. It's seeing the whole scope of like your income and stuff. That's really interesting to me. So you should become a CPA. I mean, Hillness, my accountant was like, you know this. I was like, I usually have a meeting with him every year, and then like, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I was talking with him about like taxes and stuff, and he's like, do you have any background in economics? I'm like, no. And he's like, why? Like, why don't, like, you definitely understand this. I'm like, I'm a nerd, man. What do you want? And he was like, oh, all right. That's cool. And then, from there on, he didn't try to dumb down explanations about things. So, yeah, my accountant lives near, like, it's like 2 or 3 houses down from my parents' house. So I've known the guy my whole life, so. The other benefit of an LLC is you can pay a CPA like $150 and they file all your business taxes. Business tax stuff is actually so much easier to deal with than personal income stuff. You have significantly less hassle. Yeah, I'll look into it, SKS. It might be, I mean, dude, I know you, and I know Perky, and I know a bunch of people in here. I know you guys wouldn't steer me wrong. So, yeah, no, it's cool seeing the scope of your money and how it's filed and where it goes. I don't like the government taking money part. That part kind of sucks, but where does that not happen, right? Like, Joey, it's cool. Like, I've seen the whole scope of the Route 154 project. It's all filed on my 2021 taxes. It's pretty... Route 154 was expensive. It was expensive. I probably didn't see a return on investment there. But you want to talk economics here. The reason why Route 154 was so expensive and why I didn't see a return is because I had to buy all the internet equipment for it. And get ready for this. One use on that stuff is not sustainable. Because I have a market to compare it to. Funny how that works. Yeah, Q, it's already done. Also, remember, businesses get tax breaks of all sorts. Businesses get excellent benefits from the state usually. Do your research on what you set up, because you don't even have to set up in mass. Yeah, that's true. So Das got a heck of a commission then? Yeah, Kralani, he helped me a lot. Das really helped us a lot with Route 154. He went out of his way to help me with some production. Like, and he was watching the stream in the background. And yeah, no, I owe him for that. So, yeah. Route 154 was super expensive, but that's because I had to buy all the equipment to do it. Now we have all the equipment, so every subsequent Route 154 or road trip stream, and yes, I want to, the reason why you guys haven't seen the truck so much is because I'm working on it so we can road trip it, even though I'm going to get nailed at the gas pump. But hey, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's not like I drive every day, I have 4 cars. Drive on the weekends. Oh, crap. I'm a Sunday driver. Damn. Anyway. Yeah, it's reusable, Penta. And I have a market to compare it to. Funny how that works, huh? It's a funny story. EV convert it? The truck Contra, I probably wouldn't. I believe you can't do any more Route 154 stuff. It isn't sustainable. Yeah. Yeah, Ren. Right? So, yeah, the more we do it, the more we'll see the money back on it. But yeah, I'm in the hole probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 grand, something like that, on the entirety of Route 154. In fact, the only thing that was actually profitable, like if you tally it up, was the truck. Like, I'm in to Tough Enough maybe $1,500 in that whole truck, even now with all the parts that I bought. Yeah. 1,500, maybe 2,000. But then again, I used $1,000. I paid for about $1,000 of gas to get it from Compton to Boston. But then again, that's pretty comparable if you had it transported for you. It's pretty comparable. It's just all it took was my time, which I made money off of. So yeah, the truck pretty much pushed. So that's fun. I mean, if you guys really want to know, like the truck pretty much pushed, man. Truck can be a work truck, which is actually taxed differently than a personal truck. Yeah, you know what, SKS? It's not a bad idea, dude. I'll talk to my accountant about doing that. Route 154 was an investment summit to acquire Bremo assets. Yes, or acquire Bremo. Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is cool, man. Fellas, I really appreciate how much stuff you can do. Like, you can really... And I'm going to sound like a freaking stupid, like, commercial that you'd see, like, during the Super Bowl. You could really see, where your money goes and works for you. Like, there's all this cool stuff that you can do to, like, pay less taxes. Like, I can write stuff off. Like, and you guys are talking about incorporating. You can make it a work truck. We can have it, like... there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and you can really make your money work for you, which is cool. I think that's really neat. I love it's like playing a sandbox game with currency, though. But you can do a lot of different things with it. I think that's neat. I think that's really cool. Route 154 is a special round of fundraising in order to acquire targeted growth assets. Yeah. 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 Oh, and if you guys want an update on the truck while we're here, here, I'll just switch us to EJ's rocket review for a second. Get us off the launch coverage title. Dudes, stuff with the... It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just, So I bought another steering column from the truck. You guys saw me show it to you the other day on stream. I've been learning a lot about that, too. There's an actuator rod that moves the switch around on the ignition box on those steering columns. And the actuator rod inside Tough Enough steering column is shot. It's broken. So the problem is that the actuator rod is literally like, if you were taking apart the wheel, it would be the last part you pull out. So that's good. So you got to take apart the whole thing to fix it, which is fine. That's okay. It's not the worst. I have new bearings, new seals for the column, and the new actuator rod coming. Here, I'll show you. So, I can't imagine how or when this would have happened, but the actuator rod looks like that. And it has gear teeth on it for where this thing right there turns it. I have that part in the other room. And the gear teeth are gone. There's only like one or two. So I got to take this out. The problem is that that's like, well, not the problem. It's like directly in the center of the steering column. So here's a model of the steering column. See this part right here, 67, the forward steering housing? It's inside of that. Yeah. See, 29. It goes right in that slot, right there. So you got to take this whole thing apart to get at it. The cool thing about that though, is what I'm going to try to do. What I'm going to try to do is I have another steering column, and the steering column is out of a truck that was a higher trim level than Tough Enough. It's a steering column from an XLT, so it has the tilt column stuff in it. So what I did was I bought a couple of bearing kits, and I bought a couple of I have a couple of actuator rods. I have one there, and I bought another one. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to rebuild the nicer steering column. I'll try to rebuild that, and I'll try to, if I can fix the tilter column, then we could put an upgraded steering column in it that has the tilter steering wheel, which is cool. That's an option that wouldn't have came in the truck from the factory, which is pretty neat. The cool thing about these OBS Fords is that you can do all kinds of stuff with them. They made 1,000 different versions of this truck. Actually, yeah, I'd say about 1,000 different versions between 1980 and 1997. And you could they all bolt together. It's really cool, actually. Full wheel swap. I'm looking into doing 4x4 GA, but 4x4 is going to get expensive if we're going to do anything. Believe it or not, the most expensive part is going to be the transmission, because of the ZF gearbox. Here. So the truck has a ZF 547 in it. It's this gearbox right there. This is the 2-wheel drive variant with a 2-wheel drive output shaft. There's no flange on the back of this thing in the 2-wheel drive version of the gearbox. The reason why there's no flange is because, well, you want the transfer case flange, you need to find a 4-wheel drive housing like this and a 4-wheel drive output shaft. God, the problem with that is that the output, for some reason, this is the way ZF made this. I'll speak to you in Kerbal terms. The output shaft of that transmission is the root part. So if you want to change the output shaft, you have to take the entire transmission apart, and I mean the entire transmission. It's the root part. The output shaft of the transmission is the root part of the transmission. I have no idea why ZF made it that way. It was probably easier to manufacture if I had to guess. But yeah, you have to take the whole transmission apart. This is one of those things where, outsourcing your transmission or rocket motor might not be the best idea. I can think of a couple current events where that's probably not a good thing to do. Second of all, part commonality, because you outsource the transmission to another company, Ford, also not a good idea. One thing that I think older Chevys, and dude, this is me saying this now. One thing I think that older Chevys have on Fords is that the way Chevy they engineered the transmissions in-house, so it's their design, like a Turbo 350 or a 4L80 or 4L60, even that crap box of a transmission, a 4L60. On the GM transmission, you have a standardized output shaft, and all you got to do is you want a 2 to 4-wheel drive version, undo 6 bolts, put on the companion flange for the transfer case, and it'll just bolt up. Yeah, that's why old GM was cool. The engineering was legendary. I mean, new GM does this too, as well. Like, they still do it, but yeah, if this was a 4L80 or something, and I wanted to make it 4-wheel drive, I'd literally undo these bolts, this piece comes off, and you put the new one on, you bolt it back up, transfer case will bolt right through it. Can you swap for a different transmission that costs less, like a heavier duty one? That is the heavy duty transmission. Yeah, the other transmission I could put in is an and Tessa, we could put the light duty transmission in, which is easier to work on, but the only reason it's easier to work on is because it's Ford's M50D. The M50D transmission is a Mazda. That's a Mazda transmission. M50D is the same gearbox that they put in a Miata or an MX-5. I don't think that would work too well with a 5.8 in front of it. I don't think that would work well with a 5.8 and a 1025 rear end. With 410s. That thing will break. There's no way. Like an even heavier duty one, like from an F450 or semi. Well, The ZF, so Ford standardized the heavy duty transmissions. For the manuals, Tessa, for manuals. I could put a heavier duty transmission in, but it would be an automatic, and I'd have to change a bunch of things. Believe it or not, yeah, the manual transmission is super simple. The transmission is the most complicated part. Like all the linkages and everything. I've been reading about the linkages and stuff because it's got a column shifter if it's an automatic, but my transmission doesn't have that. So, yeah, these ZF transmissions with the right companion flange on them are expensive. They're like $2 to $3 grand. Not saying it couldn't be done. I could do it. Sure. Are there other transmissions that are compatible? Tessa, it's a pickup truck. Technically, anything's compatible. There's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever watched D-Boss. D-Boss has put a freaking school bus motor. He has a Ford OBS, an F350 that he put a school bus engine in. Check it out. Here, I'll link up the playlist if you guys wanted to see it. Dude, seriously, school bus motor. The cool thing about pickup trucks, Tessa, is that all you got to do is... Okay. Clarkson had it right. It's a frickin' wagon. It's a frickin' wagon. It's a literally covered wagon. Look at the suspension. It's leaf springs. It's a frickin' covered wagon. The cool thing about that is that you could put whatever you want in. All you got to do is just bolt in a new cross member for the motor between the frame rails, drill some holes in the frame, bolt that all together, transmission cross member, boom, done. Pickup trucks aren't supposed to be complicated. They're supposed to be like a wagon. That's the whole idea. Chaos, I love the tank build. It makes me want a tank. Damn it. Damn you, Rich. Like when you try to do that with the 59? Yeah, Illness. I did do that with the 59. You could just bolt... Dude, the bolts for the Crown Vic front end are still there. I could bolt it in right now, but I'd rather have the truck in one piece. So, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you have to change some things around, but yeah, that's a stock frame. The frames are tanks, Tessa. They're really, really built tough. I mean, you can even ask Mick, who's horribly biased towards discos and stuff. And Mick is actually doing another overlanding stream right now, if I saw that right. He'll even tell you that they're built like tanks. You want a tank? I know a place where you can find a bunch of abandoned ones. As it's bumming me out seeing all those Urals get blown up, because I want one. Is that bad? Those T-72s are pretty cool too, but I don't need the gun part. I just want the tank chassis. Found one for like $900 in New Hampshire. Really? Can you link me? God. For science, Allied Auto Wrecking in Ware, New Hampshire. Okay. Okay. T-72 seems a little susceptible to Molotovs. Did you see that video, Tessa? Can you believe that? Drive-by Molotovs. What is this, GTA? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, that's pretty. That takes balls, you know. Growing up, my neighbor was a Honda dealer and known to Snowcat. Tracks are OP. Yep. It's right down the road from you, Fozzie. I'll give you a commission if you go down there. But see, I gotta make sure my money's right before I go and drop $1,000 on a transmission.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Yeah, the reason why the price is high on those things, guys, is because that ZF transmission is super sought after. It's a really good transmission. It's just the way it was built is stupid. I turned 22 on Monday, so here's a happy birthday gift. Why do you guys give me presents for your birthday? Why do you do that? You can go look. Thoughts, if you want to go down there, if you want to go down there and ask about it, I wouldn't say no, dude. I give you, what do you think is fair if you, like, what's worth your time going down there and checking on it, dude? I'm serious. Unimog had the best ground clearance. Unimogs are cool, Sasquatch. That's something we don't get a lot of over here. We don't get a lot of that, and we don't have a lot of G-Wagons. The only people that drive G-Wagons around here are people that have lots of money. Nothing, man. I don't need anything. All right. If you want to go down there, I'm not going to complain. But, yeah, I got to make sure that I have the cash right if we're going to do something dumb like that. Shaw, happy birthday. Oh, great. Yeah. We used the Unimog for seismic work back in the day. Those are good trucks, Farm. They're really cool. And it takes a lot for me to say that a non-American pickup truck is a good pickup truck. And get the AN-225 to fly it home after you fix it first. Yeah. Panta, what's that? The crab at the bottom, oh yes. Also, how are Molotovs being used against tanks? Serious, I saw a video. I saw a video of some Ukrainians driving around in a car, lighting Molotovs and throwing them at T-72s. Yeah, they definitely... Okay, so here's what I can tell you. I don't know if it was Ukrainians. I don't know if they were even throwing it at a tank that had people in it. I don't know where the video came from. I have no idea. I don't even think I could find it. Somebody in chat's probably gonna have to find it. But I can say that beyond a reasonable doubt, they were definitely throwing Molotovs at tanks, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, if you threw it on the back of the tank, it would choke the tank off. Yeah. You'd choke it off. And if you throw it at the front of the tank, no, it's not going to damage the thing. It might burn the paint off, but it's a tank. Who cares? But if you hit the front of those things, the viewport is covered, and a tank's screwed. It's not like Battlefield where you can just go into third person and blow somebody up. Like when you're inside the tank, you're inside the tank. Your situational awareness inside of one of those T-72s is confined to a box about this big. There's a view sight for the driver in the front. T-72s are weird tanks. I could be pulling this out of my tail. T-72s are designed to be short and stubby. They're designed to not be tall because they were designed to hide behind the rolling hills that are all around Europe. That's why they're short. You have to be short to drive one of those tanks. Yeah, you could do that too, Tesla. Yeah, I mean, I suppose my stepdad was a Challenger 2 tank commander during the first Gulf War. That's cool, Sirius. Right on. Yeah, those javelins are doing some damage, Chaos. Yeah. Yeah, they have an autoloader. That's right, Bill. Yeah, the T-72 does have an autoloader. You're right. You're right. I remember reading about that. Pretty interesting stuff when it came out. If you've been following the Cold War tech for a while, like, so the people that were alive during most of the Cold War, I was alive during 3 years of the Cold War out of the 70, so kind of missed the memo on that one. When the T-72 first came out, everybody over here that was doing defense weaponry analysis was like freaked out because it had an autoloader system. And then we figured out that it's like not a very good tank. It's okay. By Western standards, it's not a good tank, but you gotta understand that Russian stuff is built differently. It's not like a T-72 and an Abrams are designed to go toe-to-toe with each other. That would be heavily favored in the Abrams, but then again, it does come down to your tank crew. It all comes down to, it's not the tool, it's who uses it. Or in my case, it is the tool because I am one. Nothing new, S. The 225 is definitely damaged, but it seems to be relatively intact. Relatively. That's all. That's the only Ukraine news that I've been really covering on stream. That and ISS stuff. Dimitri's throwing a temper tantrum on Twitter, and like, dude, you want to hear something ridiculous? Yesterday, they put a Soyuz on the launch pad with OneWeb. It was a OneWeb satellite. It's a round of OneWeb satellites, and they're debating whether they could launch it right now. And it has all the flags of all the partners involved. So the ISS or the OneWeb satellites are made in the United States. OneWeb is a UK and Indian company. There's a bunch of international partners, and they put the rocket up on the pad, and they quite literally just taped over all the nations' flags that they don't like. Like, all right, okay. And then today, Dmitry Rogozin in a interview with, I think it was an interview with Novosti, I'm not sure, said that the U.S. isn't allowed to buy Russian motors anymore. All right. With the sanctions, does that mean OneWeb is dead? There's something, yeah. So Dmitry Rogozin and Roscosmos basically said, I'm not launching your satellites into space until the investors in OneWeb that are sanctioning Russia sell their shares in the company. And 2 days ago, he gave them 2 days to think about their decision, which is like... They're not going. The board of OneWeb has voted to suspend all launches from Baikonur. Well, that sucks. Roscosmos who? Cam, dude, we talked about this yesterday. I thought Dmitry was smarter. I thought he was smarter than this, man. Dude, I'm quickly realizing that I gave that guy way too much credit. And that sucks. I thought he was smarter than, what are you doing? You're going to tank your whole space program. Like, you're literally tanking your whole space program overnight. But then again, you know, problem's out of his control. It's not really his fault. But then again, him being super gung-ho about what's going on, like, okay. And I still believe that Dmitry in some way, shape, or form really enjoys the space program. His dad worked on Buran. He said that a couple of times. I think he's there because he wants to be there, not because he was assigned to that job. Because if you think about it, dude, he's one of the Russian president's like top guys, right? Why would you go and choose to run the space program? That makes no sense. He runs the space program because he likes space. He likes space stuff, but I don't know, man. Hey, he's a Russian nationalist, man. What do you want? Like, I thought he was cool about it at first, but then he was like, nah, screw this. You know? I did too. What a terrible mistake, sharing and trying to defend them all these years. Yeah, Cam, I'm with you on that one, dude. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because I know that cooler heads prevail. That's why I always talk nice about the Russian program, because we're partners. We're on the same team. Same team, man. But dude, I don't know, man. Isn't it crazy that the Russians aren't even using encryption on their videos? Or on their radios? I don't know. Yeah, hey, it is what it is, dude. It sucks that it has to be this way, you know? I really thought that Dmitry was doing a very good job. He's doing a good job weeding corruption out of that damn program because it was freaking everywhere before they nationalized the program. It was bad. It was real bad. The Russian space program was literally hemorrhaging money until he came in there and fired all the incompetent people. But see, here's the thing. You know, with all these dang sanctions, like, okay, so I'm not saying what he's doing is okay. But with all the sanctions that everybody's putting towards Roscosmos now, because the space program got wrapped up in political nonsense, right? he has no choice. All of his revenue streams are tanked. Which is why being a dick about OneWeb makes no sense to me. Why would you do that? Why would you? Okay, so you're in a situation where you could potentially lose all of your foreign business. What do you think? What do you think? The Chinese are going to launch on Soyuz? What are you doing? Of course, Aqua. I'm talking about Dmitry. Why would he? He's making decisions to willingly terminate partnerships because of sanctions. I like, once again, I'm not trying to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He's definitely in the wrong, but why? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. You're just gonna tank your remaining foreign revenue streams because your feelings got hurt? Are you friggin' kidding me? You aren't breaking up with me. I'm breaking up with you. Yeah, what the hell, man? What are you doing? What's the Russian space program going to do now? There's no profitability. And the reason why, okay, so like I get annoyed when people talk about making profit with NASA because NASA's a scientific organization. Believe it or not, NASA's a more socialist organization than Roscosmos is. Roscosmos is a state-owned business, right? NASA is not designed to make profit, so we don't talk about profitability with NASA. But Roscosmos is. Roscosmos is a state corporation where the primary stakeholder is the government. So they have to make money. They have to make money. He could, caveman, yeah. Tessa, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think that's what's going on. They also want to pivot to making defense satellites now somehow. I don't know. It's a meme to think China will bail them in any way. Kem, look. The other reason why I've been so vocal about the program. All right, you want to hear real talk for a second? We'll go here. You want to hear real talk for a second? The reason why I've wanted Russia to work with us and work with the Europeans is because, look, I'm just going to say what I think. People could disagree with this. It's all right. It's fine. Working with the Chinese is not going to end well. That's not going to end well in Roscosmos' favor. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to go out and say it. The Chinese will bankrupt your space program. Because that's what they do. China only cares about China, as they should. You know? If everybody's looking out for themselves, then nobody has to worry. But if you're gonna, I always thought this was stupid. You know, oh, we want to be an equal partner in Gateway. I understand that, but also, you want to partner with the Chinese to go to the moon? They'll leave you in the dust. You ain't gonna be a mutual partner with them. I really honestly don't think that. I don't, like, I think that they would literally drive their they'd drive the Russian program into the ground. Yeah, pretty much, caveman. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Antares has enough motors, Make. That's a good question. Frankly, it makes sense. Those Russian engines were on their way out as soon as the BE-4 is finished. It's actually a way to lose market share while saving face. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, Inside, I'm not breaking up with you. You're breaking up with me. What another viewer said. That makes sense. Yeah, I get what he's doing. Like, I see it. But, yeah, man, I've just always been weary of that, dude. And it's not that I don't trust the Chinese or anything. I would love to work. I would love if NASA and the CNSA just stopped being, you know, and just work together. That'd be sweet. We could have a much bigger space station right now, and I like bigger space stations. Just saying, just putting it out there. But I think it would be foolish to think that you entering into a mutual partnership with the Chinese space program is going to end in any way, shape, or form in favor of anybody but the Chinese. You know?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
The Chinese have a bad habit of copying borrowed tech, so that happens all the time, Gaw. All these Ural trucks that you see driving around the Ukraine right now are derived from a Chevy GK truck design. So what? Happens all the time. China thinks about themselves, and rightfully so. Yeah, Cam, I don't have a problem with that. You should look out for you. Looking out for other people like that is just no. You got to look out for number one first. Look out, like I understand, like that's what they're doing, like it's, as they should. They got what they wanted from Russian technology, and now they move forward. Well, Rogozin will use trampoline. I honestly think the Chinese will tank the space program if the Russians try to work with them. They'll tank it pretty hard. But that's, once again, that is very highly speculative on my part. And what do I always say? Don't. This is a. I want to make it very clear that this is an opinion segment right here. This is opinion, not necessarily what's going to happen. I could be wrong. But who knows, man? It just kind of sucks. It sucks that it had to come down to this, dude. And Kem, I know there's a lot of Russians out there that I personally know a good amount of them. That are not happy about this, not happy about this whole freaking thing, dude. I have a viewer that's in Belarus. He's scared out of his mind. He's like, I'm gonna go up in a nuclear fire, aren't I? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, they're just as freaked out as we are, So important to remember that, dude. Yeah, Kem, I don't know, man. Looking at it from Dimitri's perspective, he's damned if he does, damned if he don't. So you might as well save face and at least look like you're going down in a blaze of glory, right? Like, yeah, caveman, yeah, Vasi, like, dude, I know. That's why I never, I didn't need to ask you. I know what's going on, dude. And frick me, I like Russia. Like, not the government. I like Russians. Russians are cool. I like hanging out with you guys. But hey, it is what it is, dude. It sucks. The whole thing sucks, man. But what can we do? But yeah, I mean, I think their space program is going to go to hell in a handbasket, which really sucks. It really sucks to see all that. That tech's all going to go down the tubes. Oriol, Emur, all, Yenisei, like, you're never going to have the money to do that. That's what blows, dude. It really sucks. This is not good news, and I really wish that I could just give you guys good space news every freaking day, but yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough lately. They know what to do to reverse it. And yeah, Cam, like I said, I can only hope that cooler heads prevail. I think the bigger issue is that the Russian space program is in trouble either way. However you slice it, producing and launching rockets is expensive, and they may not have the capital to carry rocket production right now. Insight, another EJ's opinion segment. Look, I'll be candid with you guys. Dmitry Rogozin is like Putin's number 3 or number 4 guy. They're really good buddies. This insinuation up until like maybe a week ago that the Russian space program doesn't have any money is hilarious to me. I never really understood why everyone said, oh, the Russian space program doesn't have any money. The Russian space program doesn't have any money. How can people say that and then simultaneously say at the same time, oh, Dmitry Rogozin is in Putin's pocket. All he cares about is money. He's in Putin's pocket. He's rich because of it. Like, what? That doesn't work. That's not the way that works. Yeah, the Russian space program's going to hell in a handbasket. That's why they're building new launch sites, am I right? Because they have no money. Because that's what you do when you have no money. You build more launch pads. And now, don't get me wrong. I think, yeah, they definitely don't have money now. But also, well, let's just say a big chunk of their revenue stream is kind of in the toilet. Yeah, caveman, I never understood why people always said that. I didn't want to say it on stream, like, because it was very speculative, right? And it still is, but No money. Didn't the U.S. buy seats to Space Engine and God knows what else from them? Yeah, of course. But see, there's a history lesson to learn there, Biz. Why do we use Russian engines in the first place? Or why did we bother to use them? Because after the Soviet Union fell, all that spaceflight technology, we didn't want it to fall into nefarious hands. Because if you could put a Soyuz capsule on orbit, you could put a nuke on someone's front doorstep. So to try and curtail arms proliferation, what the U.S. did was we went and we propped up the Russian space program. We bought space station modules from them. We bought engines from them. We did all that to make sure that nobody else would get that tech. It's some real Operation Paperclip stuff. It's the same thing, same idea. We did that so nobody else would get the tech. I mean, the Chinese still ended up getting it, some of it at least. But we propped up their program, and we did that to, one, make sure that Russia didn't economically collapse in the 90s, and two, to make sure nobody got the tech. Unfortunately, some of the stuff still fell to the wayside, like Buran, which really sucks. I think that's the thing we should have propped up, but whatever. Because personal wealth is different than spending on the space program? Yeah, I don't know, S. Why would you build new launch sites and start engineering new rockets and new motors and stuff? That doesn't make any sense. And buy, like, Sea Launch. They bought the Sea Launcher. We're probably never getting that back. So basically NASA is German and Russian tech caveat, I know. Yeah, caveman, like I said, I don't want to point fingers and stuff, man. That's a futile argument. I just want to know what the hell's going on, dude. But yeah, I mean, there's your history lesson. That's why we use Russian motors. And also, just on a side note, they're good engines. Russia makes great first stage engines, like really good first stage engines. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that they've been eclipsed by that thing right there, but and the Merlin for what it's worth. But they, up until this point, they really did make. They still do. Like, it's not like they stopped. They still make really good first stage motors. And Sea Launch has been standing in port without any progress. Chem, this sucks. This freaking sucks, dude. This sucks. This sucks, brother. You know, it sucks. I don't know how much to say without exceeding tolerances. Well, we're skirting the line right now, spaceflight, so it's fine. As long as everyone stays civil, I don't really care. I don't know how much to say without exceeding, but is anyone familiar with the story interview with time travel John Teeter? I know about John Teeter. I don't like that I know about John Teeter, but yeah, I know. It's a good story. Let's not talk about that here, man. This sucks. Oh my god. Yeah, oh, cool, S. I see the pictures that you posted over there. Thank you. One truck, yep. The Germans surprisingly haven't done much for the European Space Agency or for their own program. That's why they're making the engines for Ariane 6, right? Hey Elvis, what's going on? Russia just get hit by its toughest sanction yet. Lego is no longer shipping to Russia because... Oh, boy. Now they will, and it's great. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, Kim, that's the one solace in this, that, you know, there's a vacuum of demand that's left over from the Russian space program. So now everyone's going to try to build more stuff. We're going to lose having access to legacy rockets like Proton and Soyuz, but Something's got to take its place. The Europeans, you know what? I shouldn't say this because I don't know for sure. But somebody was saying in chat yesterday that the Europeans are looking back into manned spaceflight to bridge the gap. So something good might come out of this. If we get Hermes back, that would be pretty neat. You know, it just sucks that it has to be this way. I mean, crew launches on Ariane 6, that sounds good to me. And I just want to add one more thing. A little bit ago, I was saying I like Russians. I like Russia. I like Ukrainians too. Like I don't really hate the people from any country. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. Why would you put that much effort in? I like Ukrainians. I like Russians, dude. I hate to see them duke it out like this. This would be like watching Americans and Canadians fight each other. Why the hell? Like it would just break my freaking heart, man. I know it's a little more complicated than to reduce it to a simple analogy like that. It's way more complicated than that, but it still hurts. Still hurts to see them duke it out. Those are two countries that I really like. You know? It would be like if Scotland tried to fight England or something, or Wales tried to fight England. I would just be like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing over there? Why? Look, we can't understand what Welsh people are saying, but that's no reason to go to war with them. What's wrong with you? I mean, they did do that for a long time, but you get what I'm trying to say. Sounds like people all over the planet, no matter the stupid country, are against what. Yeah, I mean, spaceflight. Yeah, there's people that are against it, and believe it or not, there's people that are for it. Might seem weird to us in the West, but you know, what I try to see. I don't look at that and I don't see a dual. Like I see the duality there, and I try to understand both sides. I mean, but like a lot of people conflate that with me. Like people did this with the Russian space program with me all the time. Like I would talk good about a piece of Russian equipment, like Soyuz, for instance. People would be like, "Man, it's a piece of junk. It's commie trash." Like, yeah, what I try to do is I try to understand. Just because I understand both sides of the argument doesn't mean I agree with the other guy. You know, like there are no two sides in this situation, to be honest. Like I said, Kim, that's the difference. That's the difference between understanding and agreeing. You know what I mean? I don't agree with anything that's going on right now. Anything. This is stupid. Can't believe this is happening in current year. I can't believe this. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say that it didn't happen in 2018. It didn't happen in 2012. It didn't happen in 2014. No, we fight. Humans fight each other. That's what we like doing. Whatever the stupid freaking reason, you know. I understand why EJ loves Ford, and I don't agree. Why don't you take your inline 6 and get the frick out of here now? Starting to understand them for the past decade. Well, Kim, yeah, no, and you helped me with some pretty damn good analysis. And honestly, dude, like, here's the thing. This is something that I personally have been turning over in my head for a little while. Like not a little while, for about a week. If I didn't have you here, and I didn't have, all the other viewers from around Russia that watch, and from Belarus, and from the Ukraine, I have there's viewers from all over the place, all over that area. Like, dude, there's a viewer that watches from the Ukraine that I haven't seen since last Tuesday, and it's wrenching me a little bit. It sucks. I've been trying to reach out. I've reached out to most of you guys, but here's what I can't. What I'm jarring in my head, dude, is the fact that, like, would I be as level-headed about this if I didn't know you guys? I'm serious. Would I be as level-headed if I didn't have you guys in here translating the Russian space program and making sure that there's nothing that gets lost in translation? Would I have you guys? Would I like Russians as much if I didn't do the stream? No, I don't like that. I don't like that if I didn't have you guys here the Russian speakers that watch the stream and the Ukrainian speakers and the Belarusian
Discovery, go at throttle
viewers
up.
that watch this stream. If I didn't have you guys here, I'd be just as gung-ho about hating Russians as anybody else is around here. Because everyone's like, oh, I hate Russians now. It's like, okay. And that, dude, that's something that really screws with me. Like, I don't hate Russians. I don't hate Ukrainians either. I don't like the Russian government. That's pretty straightforward at this, at this point. My bad. Sorry for helping with that. It's not your fault, dude. I don't have any beef with the average Russian, and I would hope the average Russian has no beef with me. Yeah, unfamiliar is bad. Stupid monkey brain. Yeah, Bond, that's what jars on my head all the time, dude. Yeah, exactly, Vinny. Well, government not representing the people. I'm pretty sure that's what my country's all about, making sure it doesn't happen, but Yeah, pirate, exactly. You have a Ukrainian passport, Kim? Yeah. You're not immune to propaganda. Vasya, that's what scares me. That scares, dude, that honestly scares the piss out of me. Because, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I see it on Twitter, right? And Twitter isn't a real place. That's just, so I shouldn't let it occupy headspace. But, like, there are people saying, like, screw Russians. And then there's people in the States, albeit a small amount. There's people in the States that are like, oh, boycott anything Russian. It's like, dude. And there's people like pouring Russian vodka out in the street. Like they're pouring Russian Standard into storm drains and stuff, and I'm just like, what? I'm like that. Yeah, that's really gonna stick it to him, guys. Like, okay. And that like I get annoyed. Like you get annoyed. You see how the propaganda machine works. That pisses me off, dude. Not pissing me off. It sucks, man. It's sad. It's freaking sad, dude. Because like the vast majority of people out there on this freaking planet just want to be left alone. Just leave me alone. Yeah, Kim. Yeah, that's why I don't like the government. So I don't like any frick governments, dude. But not frick governments. It's a little more complicated than that. But yeah. But yeah, that dude, that jars on me every day. I've been turning that over in my head. Like, if I didn't know people from these countries, would I give a frick? And the answer, like, I gotta be real, dude. I want to say that I cooler heads would prevail, but honestly, that's probably not true. Like, I'm not perfect. I'd like to think that critical thinking would prevail, but part of the reason why I try to look at everything on both sides of the situation is because you guys helped me with the translations and everything. That's taught me to really think critically, really be careful about what you say and what you weigh in on, But yeah, anyway. This whole thing sucks, man, and I know that the vast majority of people don't want this crap. We just got out of COVID. Do we really need a war right now? Like, but then again, like, when is a good time for that to happen? Like, yeah, pirate. I know what you mean. But yeah, hey, I know you guys are all right. I really hope that you guys would know the same with me. But yeah, I don't know. Well, again, we did all we could to give other side of the space program, but yeah, I refuse to do it anymore. Yeah, Kim, dude, you're preaching to the choir, brother. And it still kind of kills me to just report news about what Dmitry is doing, but and you know what I probably still won't do, even though I probably should, is everyone in the space, everybody that reports spaceflight in the States is crapping on Dmitry Rogozin. Heck, Elon Musk is too. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, yeah, I'm not doing that, dude. The news speaks for itself. You guys come to your own opinion, but everybody's using it as a reason to dunk on Dmitry, trampolines, etc., etc. Hey, Alucard, what's going on? Yeah, Pacey, I mean, look, man, I play a lot of, we play Kerbal. Kerbal's rockets and stuff, and I play Hearts, play Tarkov. Tarkov's guns, and you know, Hearts of Iron is about waging war and stuff. But you know, that's in a video game, man. I don't want this in real life. What are you, nuts? Hey, Wolfpack, what's up? Truck review. Yeah, that's right, Phil. I was talking about making the F-250, making it 4x4. It does suck that people in Russia will be forced to act out if they want, you know, want food. And yeah, Rice, it sucks. I mean, my hat's off to those guys that are out there, the guys that are over in Russia that have the balls to protest the government. Like, dude, that's something that we take for granted over here. Not everybody can do that. And yeah, you'd be damn sure they're getting put on a list. Like, not like, haha, I'm on the FBI's watch list. No, like, actually put on a list. Yeah, like, we're gonna come find you. Yeah, Apatoxin, I saw that. A freaking... That 77-year-old woman is a survivor of the siege of Leningrad. And she was protesting the... Dude. Okay. Another little history lesson for everybody. So, Army Group North, Operation Barbarossa, 1943. Okay? The Germans pushed through. They pushed through the Eastern Bloc. Well, it wasn't the Eastern Bloc yet. The Germans in 1941 and 1942 launched an operation called Operation Barbarossa. Barbarossa was the invasion of the Soviet Union. So they started halfway through Poland, and they worked through Poland, and then they worked through the Ukraine, and then they worked through Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and they made it to St. Petersburg. And Army Group North went past St. Petersburg, almost to the Finnish border, right? The Finns were coincidentally fighting with them, but that's another story. The Germans strangled the city off. They strangled it. They surrounded it, but they didn't invade it. They just left it there in the winter. And they just shelled it with artillery for like a year straight to try and just to try and flush everybody out. It's messed up, man. It's real messed up. Like women, children, civilians. Not the army, civilians. So, if you want to be honest with yourself, look at the point of view from the West, but also, yeah, Kaz, I am. I am, dude. Yeah. I am. No, I'm trying to be very clear and very concise. I want to understand what's going on. I don't want to be told how to think a certain way. I don't like that. That is not a fundamental virtue of Western civilization. Think for yourself. It's a concept that goes back to the Greeks. It's pretty good concept. So, yeah, the Germans sieged Leningrad. So that lady that was protesting was one of the children that was in that siege. Whew. I like about how we're talking about this in a civilized manner. Yeah, no problem, Phil. Yeah, Leningrad was bad, dude. Yeah, it's bad. Not good. We're here trying to understand, but where's the information? There's really not much else that needs to be said, but yeah. I mean, the Eastern Front was no joke, spaceflight. Yeah. That left some deep wounds, dude. I'd rather talk about trucks. We can do that, Catholic. Yeah. You think, Joey? Yeah, Joey. No, I think that's the general consensus right now, dude. But, yeah, I don't want to... Let's do something else. You guys want to... Well, it's 11 o'clock. Do we want to... Well, I was kind of waiting to install this game. You guys want to see what's good with Railroads Online? Anybody? What is more crazy we see a similar situation in Ukraine right now once again? Well, yeah, Cam, I've been trying to figure out what the... Yeah, we'll play Railroads Online. Cam, I've been trying to figure out what they're trying to do. At first I thought it was a blitz, but the Russian army didn't blitz. They sent out motorized fast attack. It's time to wake up. They sent out motorized fast attack. And those fast attack guys got they took some stuff, but they got pretty messed up. And then the main force is coming behind them. It was motorized reconnaissance. Motorized reconnaissance that blitzed. It's kind of like okay, I can make an American football analogy, which furthers my theory that American football is just war games. It's just an excuse to practice war games. But in American football, there's a play called a blitz, and the play is where the offense hikes the ball and the defense just runs at the quarterback, runs at the guy with the ball and tries to tackle him as quickly as possible. The idea isn't to guys, I'm just going to say this in football terms. If you need any definitions or anything clarified, you tell me. So with a blitz, you run past the offensive line. The D-line goes right through the offensive line. They go right past them, just like how you would blitz. It comes from blitzkrieg. That's what a blitz is in football. That's where the nomenclature comes from. But there's also a delayed blitz. There's a delayed blitz where you pretend to run into the O-line, and then you just go around them. That's what this is. They delayed blitzed. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to get better. That's for sure. They run out of fuel. They're sitting ducks. Paper Tiger Army. Chem, that's not... Dude, I want to believe that, but that's not necessarily the case, dude. That's not necessarily the case. And, okay, why am I saying that? Well, here's the thing. If your crack forces get hung up and they get caught in a crossfire, so basically the Ukrainians giving them hell, right? If you get caught in a crossfire like that, trying to fight back, you're gonna end up using a lot of fuel, especially because remember, it's all mechanized. The Russians aren't sending in foot soldiers; they're sending in mechanized troops and BMPs and Urals and troop transporters, basically. So they have an all-mechanized fast attack force. If those mechanized forces get hung up, they're going to use more fuel than what you previously anticipated. Now, is that dumb of the Russian army to overestimate their chances like that? Yes, absolutely. Tactics don't win wars. Logistics do. Yeah, that's something we really learned from Hearts of Iron. If you run out of fuel, that doesn't... Yeah, if you run out of bullets, who cares? It doesn't matter how good your fighting force is, right? They just sit and shelled with artillery now. Only south is the problem. Well, yeah, so they ran out of fuel for a second, but I wouldn't write them off as a paper tiger army, dude. You shouldn't underestimate your enemy like that. And that's not me. That's Sun Tzu. That's Art of War, guys. If you want to read that book, that's a hell of a book, man. I can't believe that Sun Tzu got it right 8,000 years ago. Still pertains correctly to this day. It's still relevant, not pertain. Well, pertain's kind of the right word, but you get the idea. Ukraine is a mud pit this type of year. Yeah. My grandpa was from the Ukraine. Most of his relatives are in Germany now, but I technically still have family there. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a fair fight. That's all we know. Well, hey, they're giving him hell, dude. They're giving him hell. Good on them, dude. Good on them. They can fight. Slavs, man. Of course they can fight. Don't piss off Slavic people, man. Last time that happened, they took over half of the world. Yeah. How about we don't do that? Don't give them a reason to. They gave them a reason to fight. Look what's going on. There's literally Ukrainians doing drive-by Molotovs, because frick you, How is behind the scenes KSP coming along? Sile, it's been a little bit delayed because me doing mortgage stuff, but I'll get back to it. You have my word. It's always the nice ones, human. Always the nice ones. Canadians, Australians, Ukrainians now. It's always the nice ones. It's always the nice ones. Every freaking time, dude. The people that are nicer are better fighters. I have a theory about this. Canadians can fight. They can fight. Look what the Canadians did in World War II. They can fight. The Australians? Look what the Australians did during Vietnam. They actually helped the U.S. And Australians fought in Vietnam, and they did some disgusting stuff. Australians can fight. The Finns, very nice people. They fought off the Soviet Union. you know, you got fins, you got, oh, yeah, there's a hydraulic press. Here, look at this. We're going to make fun. You invade country, you die. So Midwesterners, yes. Steering wheel! Yeah, that's right, Hammer Nails. Yeah, look what they did to us, too. So me mantu torille terve Suomi Finland. Yeah, dude, it's always the nice ones. Every time, dude. Never fails. Always the nice ones. I worked with a couple Ukrainian guys when I worked at the copy and print shop. That was like more than 10 years ago. Nicest dudes ever. But man, one time, so the guy's name was Pavel. One time he came in from work and guy had a shiner and I'm like, what happened? He's like, man, we got into a fight with somebody. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, we got into a fight, so we kicked the trash out of them. And my buddy filmed it. Here, look. I'm like, what the hell? Actually, it wasn't on a smartphone. It was on a flip phone. So it was like a pixelated video. Guy's just doing this. I'm like, okay. Guy was the nicest guy I've ever met. One of the nicest dudes I've ever met. I remember one time a customer was yelling in Pavel's face, and he was just like, why are you yelling at me? The guy's like, I wanted my copies, and he's like, yeah, that's great, but I don't know why you're yelling at me. I mean, the guy showed great restraint. I thought he would, and I knew, like, dude, the guy lifted. I knew he could beat the trash out of this guy, but I was like, damn, dude, you're patient as hell. Did you see my second last? No. Yeah, it was a flip phone. I remember that because it was more than 10 years ago. I've been reading. Yeah, as master. Yeah, it's not good. I have full faith in the Ukrainian army. My friends in the army too, so it's not even a question about losing. I mean, it's gonna be difficult. Fighting for your freedom is always difficult, man. Every time. You know that. I know that as a student in history. Look what the founding fathers had to do. They had to do the same thing. And their country, their home was already being occupied by the British. Oh yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough fighting. Yeah, Denny. No, yeah. It's always the nice ones, dude. Every time, dude. Always the nice ones. Don't screw with the nicest people. They will mess you up. I mean, it's kind of, you can kind of say this. Look at Germans. The Germans that watch the stream, some of the nicest people around. I mean, they love technicalities, but they're Germans. Of course they love technicalities. It's German. It's part of them. It's like me talking with my hands because my family came from Italy. The nicest folks around. Don't piss them off. Am I right? Pretty right. Canadians, freaking Americans, we like to fight. But Americans are really nice people too. But yeah, we're here. We're nice to the point. Canadians, I always said, dude, don't piss Canadians off. If you read dude, the Canadian military isn't big, but if you've read about what they've done over the years, you'd be like, okay, yeah, how about we don't mess with these guys? You could just stay there with your polar bears, man. Isn't there a saying that goes, the devil trembles when a good man goes to war? Yeah. I can build off of that, Metroid. Don't screw with the people that want to be left alone.